Hey, good afternoon, peace and blessings. I usually make a segment where I, make spiritual, content from one word. Today, I just want to continue on, with the word ego. Ego, spiritual death, which people, in this fallen world, the end times currently under, spiritual death. They're controlled by their ego. Ego is spiritual death. It is the epitome of being carnal-minded, being reprobate-minded, just being foolish, just being carnal, being animalistic. You let your ego control you. That's the quickest way to hell. That's the pathway to hell. Ego. People are fueled by the ego. They'd rather live a fake, straight lifestyle, to the public, to social media, and be bisexual or Baphomet. They worship the Baphomet, Freemasons. Most likely, everyone that you popularize, every celebrity, every male group that at least 80% of this world, of these men, are Baphomet. They worship Baphomet. If they practice Freemasonry, they're Baphomet. They worship the Baphomet, which is a bisexual god, which is a depiction of Satan in a bisexual way. Satan would, breasts, and a man's, undercarriage. This bisexual. It is normalized, in Freemasonry, which is what the world is under. Freemason control, Freemasonic control. The upper echelon, the higher ups, but they're fueled by ego. Instead of, doing actual deeds, actually for Satan, they're more worried about, hiding, the fact that they're Baphomet, but if you Google, Freemasons, you'll understand that they worship Baphomet. It doesn't make any sense, but as chosen as a lover of God, it is a handicap that the devil, has to deal with, by using these vessels. They only care about the ego. They only care about how they look to the public, more so than actual handling business, for the devil, towards the devil, demonically. They only care about their ego. They only care of things of their ego, which is a handicap. And once you get strong in your spiritual journey, once you level up, you'll realize it. With the gift of discernment from Yahweh, you'll understand it, you'll overstand it. Like, people only focus on nothing but their ego. They don't care nothing for what the devil actually needs them to do, because if they did, they'll do more things. They'll be humble. They'll be generous. They'll become like a snake in the grass. Not like a bull in a china shop like these people are. They don't understand anything of the devil, and what it actually takes to be, truly demonic. They're just egotistical fools and morons. They're reprobate-minded people. They're carnally minded. They only care of things of the ego. These women call themselves goddesses, but they understand that they can die. They understand that they have no power. They understand that they are a normal, graveyard of a woman, vessel. But they call themselves God. They refer to themselves as gods. It's foolishness. It's ego. It's all ego. These people who are agents of Satan, who are demonic puppets, who are NPCs, have a handicap. They don't do anything towards the devil that actually is for the devil. They just do things for their ego. They're very selfish. They're very egotistical. They're very narcissistic. They're very grandiose in the image of themselves and their own reality. They're so focused on warping their own reality to fit whatever makes their feelings feel better, that they neglect the things that the devil actually needs you to do to get business done for the business of souls. They're so focused on their grandiose, warped reality that they do nothing for the devil. They don't seek, steal, kill, and destroy. They just do things that are selfish, foolish, narcissistic, grandiose, reprobate-minded, carnally minded, stupid. It's foolishness. There's no HR for the kingdom of darkness. There is no structure. There is no one to keep no one in check. There is no checks and balances. There's no balance in the kingdom of darkness. There's just a bunch of people who have demonic spirits attached to their vessel, living a free-for-all type lifestyle, living in their own warped realities in a group. That is not built to be sustainable. If everyone that has their own warped reality of who they are, who is going to correct people when they are doing things that are not for the devil? When everyone lives in their own reality. The devil has a handicap. You have to see it. You have to understand it spiritually. That is one of the greatest handicaps that you can see with the gift of discernment. Every demonic agent lives in their own reality. They cannot function if they do not wake up in their own reality. Because if they're forced to live in reality, they'll melt or something emotionally. It's ego. It's grandiose. It's very narcissism is being a demonic vessel. It is believing your own reality is true so much that it takes over your actual connection to your true self, which leaves you open to be an empty vessel, which leaves you open for demonic control. That is narcissism. That is spiritual death. It's allowing your vessel to be emptied, to be demonically controlled. That is what the world pushes. That is how it is demonically programmed through Freemasonry, through media, through social media, through video games, through clothing, through social gatherings, whatever you may wish to name. That is of a social thing. That is of a social and so-called quote-unquote importance to people of this fallen world. You have to understand, you have to see it. People live for the egos. People, once you get to a middle ground, a middle level of spiritual knowledge, of spiritual awareness, there's really nothing the devil can do to stop you. Everyone that's going against you lives in their own reality simultaneously. There is no structure. There is no checks and balances. The Freemasons are all about order, all about, putting things in order. But every single member or quote unquote, lackey lives in their own reality. Where's the order in that? It is all based on people's egos. It is a handicap. If you truly love God, if you are truly connected to God, if you truly have the gift of discernment from Yahweh, if you truly follow Yeshua, Jesus Christ's teachings, you understand that this is a handicap. This is easily a way to manipulate the matrix, to manipulate Satan, the high-ranking demons, these narcissistic agents, to get to your blessings, to keep them at bay, to keep them out your life, to manipulate them. All you have to do is manipulate them in whatever reality they think that they live in. That is it. It is pretty simple. Every demonic tactic is psychological because the devil has no power. The devil has no authority over no one unless you give him authority yourself by becoming an empty vessel. So if you are a lover of God, if you are chosen, the devil has no authority over you. He just has to psychologically convince you that he does. But once you understand your power and take your authority back from the devil, you will realize that everyone who is a demonic agent lives in their own world on earth simultaneously. It is a very large handicap when you are trying to get business done for your quote unquote God, who is their God, which is the devil. It is a great handicap. If every one of your members, if every one of your brothers, your sisters demonically live in their own reality, who is going to check somebody when they are wrong? Where is the stability? Where is the structure? The devil will never win. It is not built to be sustainable. Demonic things are not built to last. Demonic agents are hanging by a thread. Their egos are hanging by a thread. They are a glass house emotionally, psychologically. Once you understand the things that make them tick, you can manipulate the matrix and take your authority back. It is pretty easy. It is very simple. Each and every one of these demonic agents, these agents of Satan, these agents of the kingdom of darkness, these NPCs live in their own reality all at once. There is no order. There is no sustainability. It is a handicap. You have to manipulate the matrix. You have to juice the matrix. You have to take your power back from the matrix. Leave these demonic agents in whatever reality they seek to live in. And you need to live in reality with God, with Yahweh. The true reality, the only reality, which is earth. God is in heaven. The devil rules this world demonically. If you listen to God, you'll go to heaven. If you listen to the devil, you'll burn. That is simple. That is the only reality that is true, that matters. These people are ego-driven, grandiose, thought-filled, carnal-minded, reprobated-minded. They're very easy to manipulate, to maneuver around, to destroy, to defeat, to push aside. You have to understand your spiritual authority over these demons, over these demon-possessed people. They live in their own realities. They're very easy to push aside. They're very easy to ignore. They're very easy to laugh at. Nothing that they do, say, feel, understand, comprehend is reality. And they are so mentally blinded, they are so spiritually under witchcraft that they cannot break it unless they really seek to be close to God. And some narcissistic people have lost the ability to be able to get a connection with God again. I can't say the number or the percentage, but a majority have lost the ability to gain their connection with God again, through how they carry their vessel, through sin and repetition, through loving sin, through making sin fun, through swearing against God, through cursing God, to going against God, to choosing to side with the devil for nickels and pennies, and rather to side with our spiritual Father for eternal life in heaven. And that is their curse. And as chosen, you are their curse. You are a walking, living, breathing manifestation of what they can never be, of who they will never be, of who they seek to be but can never be. A person who is truly connected to God, a person who has the access to get to heaven, a person who is normal, a person who has a normal brain, a normal soul, a normal functioning vessel that is not corrupted, that is uncorruptible, that is untainted. The light that you carry bothers people. The light that you carry bothers people's egos because in their mind, they believe that they are perfect, which is a false reality. Because if you are so perfect, how do you have demons? How are you under demonic control? That means you are the opposite of perfect. That means you are obsolete. That means you are inaccurate in the way that you carry your vessel. But these people cannot live with that because they will not be able to function for 3 seconds without burning up mentally if they were to accept this as reality. So they do everything in their power to run away from their reality, to distract themselves from their reality, to project, to blame others, to blame God, to blame chosen, who most likely do not know them at all, then to accept the fact that they made mistakes and actually try to build a connection back with God. Because they're weak mentally, they're weak spiritually, they are weak vessels. Some people you have to leave behind. You have to leave them in their ego-filled foolishness, in their carnal-minded foolishness, because they cannot go where you are going in life. It is a sad inevitability of being chosen, of being a lover of Yahweh, of being a lover of Yeshua, Jesus Christ's teachings. You will have to leave many behind. I know many people that I knew 5, 6, 7 years ago that I would never see again in life. And I do not have one problem with it, because they cannot go the places that I will go with my vessel, because I handle business for God. They handle business for their false reality. We are different. They care more about their social media than they do of their soul. You cannot go where I'm going. It is an inevitability of life. It is reality. And as a light carrier, people will seek to drag you with them. You cannot allow that. It is not your purpose to be held up on any level in this matrix. You need to keep rising in the ranks of the kingdom of light. You have to keep rising. until you get to a certain level where you and God are really making things change. You are comfortable and you are truly walking in your purpose, at least 80% for Yahweh. And you cannot stop until you get to that point. Because the devil will seek to keep you on a certain level, to repeat it, to loop it, and be stuck in the false reality loop with these other demonic vessels, these NPCs, these demonic agents, these agents of the kingdom of darkness, in their realities for 50-something years. And the Bible says, resist the devil and he shall flee. You have to resist the devil every day that you wake up. You have to resist the devil. And it will get to a certain point where the devil will realize that nothing that he says, does, or wishes will work for you because you understand what is going on. It will not work. It will take time to get to that moment. It will be a struggle. It will be tedious. But you have to get there. You cannot let anyone who is in a false reality stop you from living in the actual reality, which is this is a fallen world. These are the end times. This is assimilation. There's two options out of this life. You either gain access to heaven, or you trick off, sin off, laugh off, goof off, distract off, project off your heavenly blessings, and you burn in hell. That is it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, Paul. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It is very cut and dry. It is business. Everything with God is business. These demonic agents care more about how they feel than their actual soul. Your feelings will not pay your bills. Your feelings will not earn you a trip to heaven. Your feelings will not do anything for you but give you a moment of instant validation, gratification, and then it poof disappears in 3 seconds. But this is what these people live for. They seek to put a band-aid on an RPG-size spiritual, emotional, and mental wound every day, just for it to be ripped off and another band-aid applied. That is their life. That is their purpose. You cannot fall in that loop. It is not your purpose. We are of this world, but we are not in this world. We do not have to hate demonic vessels, demonic agents, but we do not have to be anything like them. We do not have to be around them more than we need to be. They are not to be mirrored. They are not to be in our lives. Me, myself, I have no demonic agents in my life. I had to cut ties with every demonic agent in my life. And the devil has sought to attack me for that. And it is what it is. It is an inevitability of handling business for God. While everyone else on this planet around me in the tri-state area is too busy daily stitching a band-aid over an RPG-sized wound, I'm too busy handling God's business. So when it is time to be blessed, I will be blessed in totality. I have to handle business for God. It is the business of souls. It is not the business of distractions. It is not the business of feelings, how you feel, your ego, who you think you are. This is the business of souls. Do not let your ego or anyone else's ego deter you from your purpose, distract you from your purpose, or hinder you from your purpose. Ego is spiritual death. Me, myself, I am very vain at times, but I understand the balance. I understand that I am who I am simply through God, because I'm God's vessel, because God has chosen me. I owe everything that I have personally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically to Yahweh. He created me to be this person. I understand what this reality truly is, and I only seek to live in this reality. Jesus tells us to tell the truth. People wish to live lies because they are spiritually dead, and they seek to run away from it every day in a loop. They will never be happy. There is never a moment in these demonic agents' life where they will ever be truly happy, because they are not connected to God. It is just an inevitability. It is a sad fact, but it is just the truth. They will never be happy. They will always be miserable because they have lost the connection to the Creator. Every distraction, every sin, every lust, everything that they do in their lives is an instant 3-second validation, gratification that poof and blows up in smoke right after they're done. It is a cover-up for a spiritual wound that cannot be healed. Spiritual death. And in these end times, do not let your ego drag you into mirroring the world. Do not love the world and things that the people of this world do. Study it, understand it, and understand that we are of this world, but we are not in this world. And peace and blessings.